Oh. All right, okay. Good morning, everybody. Let's get it. Hope everybody's feeling good. My man Kermit in the house. What up, young Coco? Let's get it. Let's get it. Sanaya made it in. That's what's up. What's up, LaShandra? Crystal in the house. Let's get it, y'all. Share this training. This is going to be a good one if you're an entrepreneur or if you want to be an entrepreneur. Taisha, good morning. You know, this weekend's Kaizen Academy going to be fire. Give me a replay, gang. Give me a replay, gang, if you're watching the replay. Man, I love when the YouTube family check in. That does my heart good, man. We try and blow that YouTube thing up. I'm going to crack the code. Mark my words. Shaquita, good morning, Queen. You're going to get a lot out of this. All my entrepreneurs checking in. What up? Mimi's in the house. Mimi the motivator. That means Colorado Springs is up in here. Everybody let us know where you're from, whether you're on the YouTube channel, Facebook, my personal timeline, the Facebook group. Everywhere you're tuning in from, it looks like it's only you, right? But it's really all of us together. Jessica, what up? Mr. Lawyer in the house. I'm glad you made it, brother. I'm going to call in on the live line in a minute. Share this training, man. Pay it forward. The universe gives to the givers and takes from the takers. You know, as you know, our whole thing is expanding the life expectancy of the entrepreneur, right? What kind of business do you have? Let them know. Let them know. K. Nicole checking in. Let them know what kind of business you have. Sorry if I did not get to you as you are checking in. If you enjoy this kind of content, I want to tell you in advance, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, because that's how the Facebook evil empire knows to keep showing you more content like this. If you're tired of crap content on your timeline, then what you have to do is support the good content. Does that make sense to you? But right now, rep your city. Let them know what kind of business you have and how it helps other people. Jennifer checking in. That's what's up. Nisi, what's up, Nisi? Nicole in the house. My man Trey Brown. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. My man D Money up in here. Let me call in on the live line, y'all. Y'all keep on checking in. What's up, Chanel? Okay, then. All right. I love it. Y'all about it. Yeah, Atlanta up in the house. You better let them know. Let me call in on the live line.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time.
That's a
because
fact.
We're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Thank you. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Okay. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach and a self-esteem development expert, as well as a future Nobel Peace Prize winner. Our whole game is helping you move further, faster, with less effort. We're simply here to help expand the life expectancy of the entrepreneur. I was blessed and fortunate to be an entrepreneur my entire life. Recently, as I took over as CMO for my own company, I was blessed to help us hit the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies in America in only my first year. And I'm still here promising you we just getting started. Like, we are laying out a groundwork that's going to change this entire world, but we're going to start with our country. We're going to start with the land of opportunity. One step along that way, as you know, I teach something called the revenue acceleration cycle that works for any kind of business, right? It always goes leads. Then from there, it's either appointments or meaningful conversation. Then after that, it's either meaningful conversation and appointments. Then you get the presentation, right? Then you get the conversion. Then it's follow-up. And then it's upsell. Now, it'll trip you out what order those go in when you're talking about doing a presentation with people. Like, for instance, believe it or not, you need to close them way before you present, right? But whenever you're in the process of close, I know that just now hit somebody hard, right? Yeah, the brain makes instant decisions. The brain makes instant decisions. But even after the brain, makes that decision, sometimes it's like a jihad going on inside the person. It's like a spiritual war, where it's like their mind is saying yes, their body's saying no, or their body's saying yes, their mind is saying no. I started to sing the R. Kelly song, but I decided against it. So for today's 15 minutes of fire, we're going to focus on objection. I'm going to give you 7 steps to identifying the objection, what the real objection is, so you ain't fighting smoke and mirrors, and then overcoming it. If you're ready for number 1, give me a number 1 and a share. Let's get into it. Yeah, that's a real ATLian right there. Let's get it. My man Rohan checking in. Let's get it. Give me a number 1 and a share. What's up, Neff? Let's get it. Give me a number 1 and a share. Give me a number 1 and a share. We about to get this party started, everybody. We about to get this party started. Here's the first one, y'all. You have to identify by listening carefully to the objection that they raise. That's number 1. You have to listen carefully. You got to listen fully to what's going on. That way you can determine if it's a real objection or just a stall. If they're just stalling you out, that requires a different response from if this is something that is real. Here's a little clue. A prospect will often repeat an objection if it's real, right? So you can ask different questions and they're still sticking to the same point of what's holding them back. So the first step I need you to do if you want to overcome that objection is listen carefully to the objection that's being raised. Let the prospect talk it out completely. Figure out the nuances. This is very important. And then no matter what, you want to agree with them first. I talked about this yesterday in my Instagram stories. If you follow me on Instagram at No Money Down King, right? At No Money Down King. Somebody put that in the comments. At No Money Down King. If you follow me on Instagram, then yesterday in my stories when I was leaving the gym, I always do these gyms from the gym. I started talking about how in Win Friends and Influence People from Dale Carnegie, he talks about how the number 1 way to break down resistance is agree with them first. Now their resistance disappears. Oh, I think that this is, a horrible industry to be in. You're just like, yeah, man, a lot of horrible people in the thing. I totally get it. Boom, their resistance melts away. Now you can tactfully disagree without it being an argument. Do you hear me? If you believe this to be a stall, though, if you believe this is not a real objection, then what you got to do is get them to fess up to the real thing. Otherwise, you can't proceed. If you believe it's a stall or you want clarification, here are some little phrases that'll help you kind of pull that out of him. Hey, don't you really mean, that you didn't like, for instance, the company you were with, for instance, using that first example. But don't you really mean? That's a way to see if it's a stall or a real objection. A second one is, so you're telling me blank, but I think you might mean something else. That's another one to write in your notes. I want you to use this stuff today. Try it out today. You're telling me blank, but I really think you might mean something else. Here's the third one. Usually when a customer tells me that, my experience has shown me they really have a price objection. Is this true for you? Right? Or really when people tell me that, yeah, that's my Instagram right there. Usually when a customer tells me that, my experience has shown me that they really have a time objection. Is that what it is for you? Right? You say they really have a blank objection, and then you get to it. All right, here's number two, y'all. Here's number two. We only got 15 minutes. Here's number two. Qualify it as the only true objection. That's number two for you in the 7 steps. In the 7 steps, qualify it as the only true objection. So question it. Ask the prospect if it's the only reason that they aren't going to purchase from you, that they aren't going to enroll, that they aren't going to sign up, right? Ask if there's any other reason that he or she wouldn't be able to move forward besides the one that they're giving. Now what you're doing is setting up so if you can handle that thing, then you got a new client. You got a new customer. Am I making sense? If that makes sense to you, somebody say, make sure it's the only one and give me a share. Make sure it's the only one. And then we'll move on to number 3. I want to make sure you're with me. I want to make sure you're with me. And when you type it out, or when you write it in your notes, you're putting it into your subconscious even deeper. Here's number 3, y'all. Confirm it again. Rephrase your question the same way twice, right? Rephrase it so you can ask the same question 2 times or 3 times. In other words, if it wasn't for blank, you'd buy my service. Is that right, Neff? Is that right, Miss Chanel? Huh? So now I'm rephrasing it again to make sure we all on the same page. I'm taking away all prospects of confusion. I'm taking away all ability for us to keep beating around the same mulberry bush because we just confirmed it again. That was number 3. That was number 3, right? That was number 3. Confirm it again. Here's number 4. Qualify the objection to set up the close. Next, you qualify the objection to set up the close. That's right. You rephrase the objection in a different way. That's number 3. You rephrase the objection in a different way. Let's get it. Good morning, millionaire. Better late than never. Never late is better. You know what I mean? But number 4 is now you qualify the objection to set up the close. What do we mean? You ask the question in a way that incorporates the solution. So if we're continuing with the same example, it's like, so if I were able to prove the reliability, right? And then you move on to number 2. Or if I were able to get you extended terms, right? If they claim that was a problem, or if I were able to show you the system in a working environment, would that be enough for you to make a decision? Is that making sense? Or a little variation is, would that make me a candidate for your business? Would I at least be in the running? Does this make sense? I'm not losing you, right? I'm not losing you. Write this down so that you can practice this. Especially if you're on the phone, you can look at your notes and kind of walk them down the pathway. Walk them down the pathway. The difference between manipulation and influence is that with influence, what you're trying to do is help them get them past their own fears to get what they say they want out of life, right? And if you're really clear that this is going to help them, if you know you're representing truth and justice, you hear what I'm saying? It is your responsibility to learn these skill sets. Because let me tell you, the devil's show using them. If we God's people, we have to get just as good at what, you know how they be like, the devil be busy. It ain't really that. It's that God's people be lazy. We feel entitled to the blessings because we like God got us. But you still got to work, baby. You got to learn exactly what it is you're dealing with out here. I hope I ain't getting too deep for you. Here's number 5, y'all. Here's number 5. Answer the objection in a way that completely resolves the issue. Answer the objection in a way that completely resolves the issue. Is this making sense to somebody like that? Right? Ask the question in a way that completely resolves the issue. And you know, that ties the customer down, right? And the customer's kind of been tied down to a yes answer. You're using every tool in your box at this point. If you've got trump cards, this is where you bring them out. Testimony. You know, we design testimonies so that it answers the objections we normally hear. If we're always hearing objection about price, then we pull out this testimony where they're like, man, and I thought the price was going to be too high. But after I got involved, what I discovered was that they're really charging too cheap. Boom. That knocks that objection completely out. So you want to pull that out. Maybe you have a comparison chart, right? Whatever your trump cards are. Maybe you have a customer that you can call on the spot that felt the same way that they're telling you they feel right now, right? Maybe you have some kind of special deal that's related to time or that's related to some kind of price. And you're able to create urgency because, like, for instance, we're doing this franchise show this weekend and we're going to give, you know, this really cool special price. But when they pull up the website, they'll be able to see that, oh no, this is what we normally sell this for. This is a special price for right now. If you don't do this by Saturday afternoon, it's over, right? This is what I'm trying to say to you, y'all, and it's step number 5. Forget price. Show cost. You hear me? Demonstrate value. You get what I'm saying? Write that in your notes. Write that in the comments. Forget price. Show cost. Demonstrate value. You hear what I'm saying to you? List the comparisons. Prove the benefits. If you can't answer the prospect in a way that's different or that sets you apart from other people, you're going to lose them. This is why product knowledge is so important. This is why creativity is so important. This is why we always saying creativity is next to godliness. You hear me? It's your belief in yourself. It's your belief in your product and your company and your ability to communicate. This is where all of that comes together. This is the step where you have to combine technique with style, right? You got to have assurance. You got to have sincerity. You have to get conviction. You have to get convicted about what it is you do. I'm going to tell you something. People are more impressed with the depth of your enthusiasm than they are the width of your knowledge. All right, here's number 6 because we only got 3 more minutes, right? By my clock. We got 3 more minutes before we out of here. Millionaires, this is where you ask a closing question or you communicate in an assumptive manner. This is where you communicate in an assumptive manner. Before I get out of here, let me throw this out here. If you haven't joined the newsletter, this is a good time for you to do it. Go to wearemillionaireminded.com, and I'm going to give you all kinds of sales tips this weekend in the Kaizen Academy, right? But what I suggest you do at step number 6 is ask a closing question or communicate in a manner that assumes the sale, right? Ask a question where the answer confirms the sale. Like, if I could, would you is a classic. So if I could make the price boom, or if I could deliver it at the, would you then, enroll? Would you then come on and join us, right? That's the classic model. I'm pretty sure we can do this. I have to check one thing with my office, but it's a go on my part. And I'm assuming that we have a deal if I could meet with the decision makers and finalize this. Is that fair? Right? Fair enough? Right? Is a good way to end it. That one's pretty assumptive. Or you can use similar situations when you close. People like to know about others in the same situation. Another one is to ask why this is important, because that starts to form even a stronger bond. Why is this important to you? Then use, if I could, then would you? Somebody give me that in the comments. If I could, ... then would you? Huh? If I could, then would you? If I could meet those terms, then would you get signed up? If I could make that happen for you and your team, if I could guarantee that I'll do such and such and such and such, right? One that I'll teach you more about this weekend is this whole most people thing, because everybody wants to be like most people. Nobody wants to be left out in the cold. Most people, right? So a lot of times you can say, most people love doing this, but some don't, because, they don't want to be unsuccessful. But then when they find out that we have a step-by-step training process that makes everybody successful, then they get excited about it. So I just close them without even presenting first. You get what I'm saying? First, you get the decision, then you give the details. All right, y'all, we out of time. I hope this was helpful. Next, number 7 is you just confirm that thing in writing, y'all. Confirm the answer. Get it in writing when possible, but a lot of times that ain't possible. Get the verbal contract. Get the prospect to convert to a customer with the confirming question. Something like, when do you want it delivered? Or what's the best time to begin? Or I see you like the information. What would you like to do next? Right? Is there a better day for us to get started than others? What I want you to understand is that everybody's always talking about objections and closing. My philosophy is you can't have too many techniques. So I hope this was helpful for you. Watch the replay, write this down in your power book so that you have a step-by-step blueprint that's going to help you win. It's affirmation time. That was our 15 minutes. We out of here. I love y'all. Turn on your notifications. And if there's one I left out, put it in the comments. We want to hear from you as well. But it's affirmation time, y'all. It's time for us to drill down this self-image, because we have to become before we'll do, before we'll have. I love y'all. Repeat after me.